Want to see how to build a Creality Ender V3 KE 3D printer? Stay until the end and see how a simple model is printed. The printers come disassembled, so let's unpack it. Among some features is that it has a very useful self-test option. It is ready for smart control. In addition to printing at high speed, we extract the first block containing several parts. After extracting that block, we find the gantry that contains the injector. Extract it carefully, as the nozzle might slip. Leaving it aside, we continue with the base component. Great care must be taken because the base also moves and has ports. All of them are disconnected. The bed also has movement. We check the box and see that no additional parts remain inside. We arrange the components so they can be observed and recognized to start assembling each piece and finally finish the job. We move the gantry so that from the first block we can carefully extract each part that is in the foam storage compartments. We extract the screen component, the tools, the material rack, and the filament tube. Remember to read the manual carefully. In summary, we have the base component with the bed, the manual, the gantry with the injector, and all other small parts. The first step is to place the gantry on the base component. On one side we insert the cable and on the other it just fits. On both sides, the gantry has the exact shape to fit and adjust. On the left is the cable and we will put screws below it. On the right side we will place screws, but on the top side the base with the gantry must be perpendicular at 90 degrees. We secure the right side with the M3/8 screws to secure the gantry to the base component. It should be very firm and stable. We look for the appropriate Allen key to tighten the screws mentioned in this step. Use the one that fits the head perfectly. We give the printer a half turn to work better with the bottom part. Connect the cables as shown in the provided figure. In that same place are the three holes to adjust the base component with the gantry. Ensure they are aligned before starting. We use 3 M314 screws to adjust these two pieces. We see that the 3 screws form a triangle for the main attachment. As usual, we look for the right Allen key for the screws. Among the tools come all the necessary sizes for the assembly. The next step is to connect the screen to the base component. We see the 3 holes for the screws and the main connector. All connectors are shaped to prevent them from being placed backward. Connect the cable to the back of the screen component. Now we place the screen on the base component to secure it with the screws. Make sure it is aligned with the mounting holes. In this case, we will use 3 MF410 screws to secure it, as we see in the figure. Tighten them firmly, but do not overdo it. For greater comfort, the printer can be turned over to place the screws in a more comfortable way during this specific task. Now we must unscrew one end of the filament tube to place it on the material rack. This will guide the printing material. The rack goes on top of the gantry, and as we see on the rack is the filament detection device to monitor the whole process. To secure the material rack, we use 2 M5/8 screws on the top of the gantry. This provides a very solid hold for the spool. After securing the material rack, we proceed to connect the filament detection device, which always has a specific shape. Next, we must connect the thick black cable. The first step is to secure it with the plastic clips where the sticker is. The next step is to connect the small cable coming out of the thick cable into the motor that moves the injector laterally. As a next step, we must connect the end of the thick cable with the injector. For this, we must open the clips that it has. Once open, we insert the connector with the proper shape. Upon insertion, the clips will hold it. You can push the clips. The next step is to secure said cable with the special clip to adjust it, which we will secure with two small metal screws. As we saw in the previous figure, the two screws are M38, which we tighten with the corresponding Allen key for a fit. The next step is to connect the Z-axis motor, which is located on the back of the right side. Ensure the plug is fully in. Once everything is fixed, we move the bed of the base component slightly to extract a fitting foam and prevent movement. The last assembly step is to select the power source used. In my case, it must be 115 volts for the local electrical grid. This step is very important, since if not placed correctly, the printer can be damaged. Now, it must be placed in a fixed spot. We open the sample filament. As seen in the figure, a 45-degree cut must be made with the tool that comes with the printer. The next step is to place the material on the rack and insert the tip of the filament into the detection device properly. Now the filament must be inserted into the injector. The clip must be pressed so that the filament goes down to the bottom. It is suggested to first insert the filament and then press the clip so that the filament continues down into the injector. With everything ready, we turn on the printer with the switch on the left side and remove the screen protector carefully. On the screen, we will configure the printer. First enter the language, accept the policies, and then it will detect networks. We select the network and enter the password. We wait for it to connect. Select the time zone and the international zone. Then we select the detection start, which will proceed to test all the printer components for their correct functionality. After detection is finished, we are going to insert the USB memory that comes with the printer on the right of the screen. On the screen are the icons for home, parameters, folders, configuration, and account. Navigation is very easy to use. Then we select the folder icon, then the location of the USB memory. It will show us the models in the G-code file format. Selecting the model will show time, material, temperature, and calibration. We press the print option to start the task. It will perform the calibration first. This ensures the nozzle is at the correct height and the bed is perfectly level. Upon finishing the calibration, it will start with the printing of the first layer. This is the base of the entire model. Depending on the model, after a few minutes, it will have several layers. You can see the progress of the piece appearing. By this time, the base of the model has already been printed. The structure is now very stable on the printing surface. After a few minutes, it will start with the top details. The printer moves very fast to complete the shapes of the design. Finally, the model will be almost finished. At the end, you must wait for the figure to cool for about 10 minutes or so. We hope you liked the video. Subscribe, leave a like and activate notifications. See you in the next video very soon.